And our second degree program is the 60 credit program in pastoral counseling, which offers students a more specialized clinical focus and eligibility for state licensure as a mental health counselor in New York. Students that graduate from this program can be a certified pastoral psychotherapist, a state licensed mental health counselor, working in a counseling agency, a mental health counseling center, drug and alcohol treatment center, addiction center, as well as, can I?
I think that's good though.
Okay.
That's enough.
What was I gonna?
That's a lot of information.
Okay. I was going to add private practice, but Lisa probably said that.
Okay.
Is that enough?
Yeah, I think that's good.
Okay.
So relating to students and teaching now, we'll switch to that. So what do you think is the value of being faculty and still working, participating in your field?
I think it gives someone like myself
But they didn't hear my question, so maybe start out with
okay.
working in the field or being a faculty and working, so just something to start the answer.
Okay. As someone working in the field, teaching in the field, being a faculty member, it gives me a platform to really be future directions, that I can influence future directions in the field.
It gives you a unique perspective that you can offer the student.
Okay. So as a faculty member working in the field of pastoral counseling, there's a network that I'm connected with. I'm able to see what the
Can I unplug it?
yeah, sorry about that. It's, just...
You said the button, right?
True. And I think I hit that, Ashley. Sorry about that.
No, it's fine.
No, I think he had it more angled like that.
Yeah, that should be. That looks the same.
Is that good?
I think so.
Okay. And try to, I know Cindy, you're probably breathing through Cindy, but try to keep your hands down. They popped up in a couple of the...
Gesticulating.
Yeah.
Be like the Dana Carvey doing George Bush,
Right.
that Iraq thing.
Yeah,
That's
yes. Okay, so
okay.
what do you think the value is of being faculty and working in the field, that unique perspective that you can offer students?
As a faculty member connected to the field of pastoral care and counseling, I'm able to see new and emerging trends, cutting edge research in psychology, theology, spirituality, and it really gives us as faculty a platform for accumulating this cutting-edge knowledge, and of course, we use that in the classroom with students who are really getting a current, up-to-date, cutting-edge education.
That's perfect. Why is empathic listening so critical in the pastoral care profession, and how is that exemplified in the programs that you teach?
Well, having been doing pastoral care and counseling now for a number of years, I've now come to the point where you really need to be an empathic listener. Something we stress in both degree programs of pastoral care and counseling, simply because you can have all the knowledge of pastoral care and counseling, psychology, and theology, but if you are not an empathic, present listener in those moments of crisis and suffering and even joyful moments with clients and congregants, it could all be for naught. So we stress that in the program. It harks back to Jesus' statement that those who have ears to hear, hear or listen. Of course, everyone can listen, but when you complete this program, you really know how to listen on all levels, verbal, nonverbal. What's the communication of the client or the congregant based on what they say, and sometimes what they don't say can be more revealing than what they do say. So empathic listening is the cornerstone of pastoral care and counseling.
Perfect.
I really like that.
Yeah. How important is it to engage the student intellectually, emotionally, practically in the courses, and how do you actually do that?
I think it's really important, particularly in the context of pastoral care and counseling study, to engage the whole person, the totality of the person, and in many ways that's in keeping with Jesuit pedagogy, certainly Ignatian pedagogy of educating the whole person. We do care about students here. We care about their academic learning, their academic progress. We care about them as people, too. What's going on in their personal lives, not to pry or anything, but we're here to listen. Because in this field, it is impossible to separate who I am as a person from who I am as a professional. In other words, my personal identity and my professional identity are always closely linked.
Now, the Fordham Jesuit thing. So what is the Fordham difference?
Well, I think it's, for me, what makes Fordham unique is that we are the Jesuit university in New York City. And that means, first and foremost, academic excellence in the context, some would say, the greatest city in the world. We are a Jesuit institution. We embrace the Ignatian way, Ignatian pedagogy, which focuses on, again, educating the whole person for service to a world in need.
Cool. How do you teach people to transform their communities?
My approach, and I think my colleagues' approach, is for students to think in terms of personal transformation. It's really important that we're working on ourselves, not simply those in our care. We can only accompany someone as far as we've grown, as far as we've developed, as far as we've healed. So it's really important that we're about the business of our own growth and development. And then a transformation is extended to those in our care, with the individual in our care, the couple that we're working with, experiencing conflict, the family in our care. I would emphasize that we start one person at a time, one couple at a time, one family at a time, and if there's change in that context, then it has a ripple effect. that it has an impact on the congregational system, on the community system for good.
That's good. I like that. Anything, I mean, those are the questions, so is there anything else that you wanted to, you feel like we didn't touch or you didn't say that you wanted to say?
Well, I was going to do that. Sometimes students aren't sure between the 36 and the 60.
Mm-hmm.
And I think over the phone I had said about, but you know, maybe that's too much.
Okay.
Project yourself 5 years into the future.
Actually, I like that. When he said it on the phone, it
Yeah.
sounded like
Okay.
if you take nothing else away from that, you need this.
Okay, so how?
Oh, the project yourself
Yeah.
into the, yeah.
Like that's a
Yeah.
tagline for this.
Yeah. So
Okay.
how would you counsel a student who's struggling with making a decision on should they do this program or one of the programs?
So in the Graduate School of Religion and specifically in the Pastoral Care and Counseling program, we offer the 2-degree programs. The 36 program in pastoral care, the 60-degree clinical program that leads to state licensure. Some students come in not entirely sure where they're going to put their feet down, on the fence, that do I really want to go the full distance with 60 credits and an internship that requires 600 internship hours? And I always advise students to try and project yourself into the future, say 5 years from now. Try and get an image of what you see yourself doing, what's your passion, what's your calling. And if it is something that requires a licensure, perhaps you want to go into private practice, or you're working in a counseling agency and have a side counseling practice that requires licensure, then by all means, you'll want the 60 credit program. If not, maybe a more general approach to pastoral care in a parish setting, a diocese, then the 36 credit program in pastoral care might be for you.
Good, I like that. Cool. There's 8 minutes on here. Should we pause it and set up some of the
Yeah.
other little shots that we want?
Thank you,
How do I hit pause?
Your pause.
Cindy, or yes, Cindy, Deanie.